Okay, guys, Mayday Media here. I've got a little spot here from Alex Jones. Say what you will about him. I got my issues with him. I like him. Some things I don't on others. But he's talking about the 25th Amendment with Donald Trump, which I think he should have probably talked about 3 months after his first term, to be honest with you. But uh, here he is talking now. Let's listen and see what he's got to say.
Legislation passed to make the Selective Service mandatory and to raise the age of conscription to 42 from 35. It also
Now, 32 to 45, I'm pretty sure that's Marine Corps numbers. I think the Marines was 32 was the oldest you could be. I think other places were 40. But this whole conscription thing, I mean, I don't remember signing up for the selective services in the 90s. Everybody told me that I did. I don't remember it. But maybe I did. I don't know. But uh, I'm 47. I wouldn't want to be drafted ever. I ain't fighting for. Man, my life is pretty much trash. I mean, there ain't no nothing I want to fight for. I can tell you that. I don't know how you are and the rest of the people with what's going on to go over and fight for a certain country is ridiculous, and we're spending all this money, and the whole time this country is in trouble, and it's like, oh well, you know.
makes it the law that computers will automatically register you into the draft when you get a driver's license or when you turn 18, whichever one happens first. We can show you those laws. That's on record. People find this so unbelievable that they just live in denial. Now, yesterday, they published on the Federal Register, under orders from President Trump via the Pentagon and Selective Service, vendors that have been given less than a 3-week window, AI companies, to compete for the contract to implement those provisions of the law and to prepare for national conscription for the full invasion, ground invasion of Iran. I am saying right now, 100% clearly, that if Trump tries to implement the draft, which he's doing, but if they actually put the AI in and notice everybody that, okay, you're in the draft now, and then they're saying, according to their previous neocon statements this year, including the guy Israel installed in Kentucky, he said, we've got to go ahead and implement the law that Trump passed last year, and we've got to go ahead and get them ready for the draft, and we need to go ahead and have everybody go through basic training, because we're going to have to go to total war. We need at least 500,000 troops. That's 500,000 troops, ladies and gentlemen, to be fed into the meat grinder. You've seen all the conscription. We can roll some B-roll of that in case you missed it, of what's happening in Ukraine. New footage out of them surrounding cars and dragging fathers away from their children and taking them off to be at the front lines. And all they do is absorb Russian artillery and drones, and they use the people as bait, as literal cannon fodder, meaning feeding them to cannons, is the old term from World War I, so they get targeting on where the Russians are. So humans are now just decoys for the robot wars that we're now in. Skynet is here. Trump admin gives vendors under 3 weeks to create computer simulation model for military draft. The Trump administration Selective Service System published a request, linked right there, last week asking vendors to create a computer simulation so the agency can test scenarios for a national military draft. They now have 2 weeks left. So with 2 weeks, military.
Wow. I mean that. Wow, that is unbelievably crazy. Using AI to make automatic drafting. If you want your kids or you want any of these people to go off to fight for this that are Americans, I mean, I think you've got some issues because you must not be researched and studied. In the late 90s, I remember knowing about war for oil and banker wars, and I stayed away from all of that stuff for that purpose. And I don't want to go now. If it comes to something like a Patriot Front type of thing, where it's arming up from here in the country to take care of this, yeah, I'll go and sign up myself. But That's not happening. I definitely would not want my kids in any of this. I would not promote anybody to go. If he tries to do this, he should be impeached, and everybody should want him impeached, even if you're a boomer and you love him.
Military Times reported on the news Friday, noting the readiness simulation project comes as the U.S. government is about to change its draft registration system. That law was passed last year. It's implemented right now. And it basically says AI will decide who is going to be drafted. I'm sure that's going to be really fair. Vendors have until August 14th to turn in their simulation models. The U.S. Army also expanded its recruiting pool in March, raising the maximum enlisted age from 35 to 42. It was 43. Clearly, it's up to 43, indicating American forces are undermanned and the Pentagon is struggling to recruit. We've got our video reports and breakdowns. We predict it all right there below. You might want to share our.
They're struggling to recruit because nobody wants to put up with this shit and go fight these wars overseas. When, like, I mean, people are going bankrupt, broke. I mean, here in my little county town, for some reason, we are losing people. There's less and less. And they are spending money on building a clover leaf in the middle of nowhere. Like, we don't even have factories that, I mean, it would be one thing if we were setting this up for semi trucks or something to build factories, but that's not what's going on. It's like, why would you even spend that money when there's a lot of other things that you can be spending money on that would be a lot better service to the people?
Our article, because unlike the Army, Military Times, the Army, and all the rest of it, we give you context and background and interviews and predictions months ago that it.
By the way, we have like under 14,000 people in this town. They're building a clover leaf. I mean,
Indeed, this is all about to kick in for the ground war. And back on March 1st, I did that special 3-hour live Saturday show. I walked through everything that would happen, and that if Trump didn't get sense and pull back, it would then mean ground invasion and the implementation of the national draft that is now under the law implemented. It's now there. Now they have to begin the actual draft. But the national draft is established and passed and back, and now they have to pull the trigger. So the gun is loaded and aimed. Now they just have to pull the trigger, and they want to pull the trigger with AI to direct all of this.
Real time, uncensored, unstoppable. Alex Jones Live.
well, something's going to have to happen because we got wars collide. We got missiles launched at U.S. bases. We got Iran one enduring pain. We got 30 Minnesota water systems targeted in a cyber attack. Netanyahu kept out of public view of White House amid growing fury. Red Cross blood supply reaches crisis levels. Limits distributions to, I guess, our own hospitals. More heat threatens wildfire across southeastern Europe. That's in Europe here. I mean, there's some stuff on the table right here at home, I think, that we need to be worrying about instead of enlisting and forcing drafts on the men. Of course, it'll be a certain species of men that they'll go after for sure, and more of them will be dead, and I guess you'll be left here with your elderly and your women. Yeah, you got it. You got it, buddy boy. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with impeaching him. I really am. I said after his first term, the first 3 weeks, he just filled the swamp back up, and I was like, yeah, well, screw you. Lied to again. I don't. I'm not even. I'll never. I didn't vote. I haven't voted since George Bush Jr. So that tells you how long. But I'll never vote for left or right. I'm never gonna push one or the other. No independent. I'm just gonna push people in their city council meetings and people, like in Patriot Front, or people setting up these groups that are actually going into their councils and shutting this shit down, and just local stuff. That's the only thing we can do right now. Just try to be local and stick together. Have Facebook groups for that type of stuff. Something like that. Something's got to happen, and it's going to have to happen soon, I think. I'm going to get off here, but like, subscribe, help me out. Thank you.